Hello there and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about patch 11.2.7, and in this video we're going to go through everything that is coming in the final patch of the War Within expansion. Yes, this is it. This is the final one. But before we jump into that, guys, I do want to give a massive thank you to all of our channel members and everyone over on the Patreon. Just so I'm posting over there fairly regularly with channel updates and things of that nature. So if you want to support me over on the Patreon, I'll leave a link down below. Right, so yes, patch 11.2.7 actually has an official release date already. This was announced quite a while ago, actually, with the official release date of the patch being December 2nd in the NA region and December 3rd in the EU. So yeah, not too long from the recording of this video. And this patch is actually pretty stacked, considering that, you know, when you look at it, you're like, oh, it's just housing. But no, there is actually quite a lot in this patch. So let's begin with the first thing, and that is a brand new campaign questline, and that is the Vision of a Shattered Sun questline. This is a 3-chapter campaign involving Arator and various other members of the Windrunner family. No spoilers. This campaign directly leads into the story of Midnight. So this is a perfect little prologue to bring us into Quel'Thalas in Midnight. During this questline, you actually do get a mount reward called the Karok Swiftwing mount. This is, of course, a recolor of the Koresh Karoks, as we do go over to Koresh during the storyline. But yeah, you actually get this like halfway through the questline, which is odd. But yeah, there you go. You get the Karok Swiftwing. But yeah, it's a 3-chapter questline and very much an enjoyable experience with cutscenes and voice acting and things like that as well. So yeah, you can get ready for Midnight with this questline. Also coming in 2.7 is a brand new player experience. There are various different layers to this, so let's go through it. So first and foremost, Exile's Reach is getting a slight redesign to include characters like Jaina, Thrall, Rathian, and Calicos to feel more natural when going into Dragonflight for new players. Obviously, right now, you kind of do it, and there's all these weird characters, and then suddenly you're thrust into Dragonflight and you don't know any of these characters. So yeah, they've kind of shoehorned them in a little bit just to be involved with the questline of Exile's Reach. But for the most part, the questing experience in Exile's Reach is exactly the same. What they've also done is actually remove the city section after Exile's Reach. So once you finish the dungeon in Exile's Reach, you actually go straight into the Dragonflight expansion instead of having to go to your capital city and doing all that part. So that part has been completely removed. From there, you will just play through the Dragonflight content as you normally would. They've also added story mode versions of the raids in Dragonflight to keep you up to speed with that. From what it looks like you have to complete all of these zone quest lines, and then at the end of that, you will be thrust into a kind of story mode raid of Razageth and things like that, just to kind of keep you up to speed with the Dragonflight storyline. Once you get to level 70, this actually opens up a new questing experience called the War Within Recap. So this actually uses very similar tech to Lorewalking to take you through kind of the high spots of the War Within story, kind of jumping you around and showing you the kind of important parts of the War Within, which is actually really cool. This is also replayable at any time as well, so if you do just want to play through the War Within story in this kind of abridged mode, you can do that whenever you like. For returning players, you actually have a new catch-up story in the Arathi Highlands. So this very short scenario kind of takes you through the basics of the game and gives you some level-appropriate gear and bags, and then ships you off to the relevant content for your level. This can be accessed at any time from the adventure journal, but if you're a returning player, you will be prompted to go into this catch-up story. It involves Jaina and Thrall, and you got to go into Stromgarde. You learn how to interrupt as well, which is kind of neat. But yeah, for the most part, it's a very simple questline, just showing you some of the basics of the game, which is nice. But yeah, overall, the new player experience is getting a pretty major overhaul in patch 11.2.7. Speaking of Lorewalking, there's actually a brand new Lorewalking story coming in 2.7 as well. This is the Elves Lorewalking story. This was actually data mined when they launched Lorewalking, but is now going to be finally available in patch 11.2.7. Unfortunately, this has not been testable on the PTR, so I can't show you any gameplay, but the name of it is the Elves of Quel'Thalas. The description of this is the Elves of Azeroth each have their own stories that weave together into an intricate tapestry of history. For Blood Elves and Void Elves, it is a story shaped by strength in the face of utmost tragedy. So there is also a little bit of a description on the website as well. So it says that it starts with the retelling of the Scourge attack on Silvermoon and the Lich King's assault on the Sunwell. And then later on in the story, you'll find out more about the tainting of the Sunwell by Illyria and the creation of the Void Elves. So yeah, pretty cool. And that'll be available on launch day. The reward for completing this Lorewalking is the Tome of Silvermoon Intrigue Decor. So this is just a book. So yeah, once you complete the Lorewalking, you get this nice book to put in your player house. Speaking of which, yes, housing early access begins in patch 11.2.7. So if you have the Midnight expansion pre-purchased on your account, when the patch launches, you'll be able to purchase, customize, and decorate your own player house in Azeroth. If you haven't got Midnight pre-ordered, however, you can still visit your friends' houses and the neighborhood areas. So there are obviously so many details to player housing that it needs its own video, which I am working on. So we'll just kind of do the high spots here. So per account, you could purchase 2 houses, one in the Alliance neighborhood, which is called Founders Point, and one in the Horde neighborhood called Razorwind Shores. And in the game, there are 2 types of neighborhoods. You have public neighborhoods and private neighborhoods. Public neighborhoods are created by the game and have a generated name, and your neighbors will just be other random players, perhaps people you don't know. A private neighborhood can either be a guild neighborhood or a charter neighborhood. The guild neighborhood is set up by the guild master, and obviously people who live there will be in the guild. A charter neighborhood can be set up by anyone, but you'll just need 10 people to sign your charter to set it up. So essentially like a community neighborhood of sorts. But don't worry if you leave the guild or are not happy with your neighborhood, you can move your house at any time while preserving what you've created. When it comes to customizing the outside of your house, this will use a similar system to the barbershop with tons of different options to add windows and towers and different doors and the designs of the house itself. You can really be very creative here. For the inside and actually the outside as well, you are able to place decor items that you've collected, and you can put these pretty much freely wherever you want. You can make it clip through walls or do whatever you want, really. The level of customization is absolutely insane with player housing. We've had several PTR tests already, and the videos sprouting out and the screenshots that are coming around are already crazy. So this is going to be such an awesome feature just to observe what people are creating with this new system. Now, as mentioned, this is an early access of player housing. Player housing will officially launch during the Midnight pre-patch on January 20th. At least that's the speculated date. But yeah, player housing, definitely a massive feature. There are so many different nuances I perhaps might have missed here, and I will be doing a full overview of player housing extremely soon on the channel, so please do keep an eye out for that. Yeah, that's pretty much how it works for the most part. Now, the other thing coming in 2.7 related to housing is Decor Collection. So Decor are the items that you can place in your house wherever you like, and there are over 2,000 of these being added in 2.7. Now, the good thing here is that even if you don't have Midnight pre-ordered and you don't have a player house, you can actually start collecting decor items for your future house. Now, decor can come from basically everything. It can come from vendors, quests, achievements, dungeons and raids, reputation. You could also craft it, and with crafting, there's even a new resource called lumber that you can collect from around the world. Anyone can be a lumberer. It's not a profession. It's just kind of a skill that you obtain just from a very, very simple quest. Each expansion has its own type of lumber as well. Basically, you're going to be flying around the world in different expansions, going up to trees and cutting them down for lumber to create decor items through crafting. And also as well, Legion Remix will have some decor items added to various achievements, and you'll be able to purchase more of these items from a vendor for bronze once 11.2.7 does launch. Now, if you do want to just browse what is available for decor, there is an in-game catalog that shows all of the decor that's available, and you can even track some of them to tell you where the vendor is or where to obtain it, which is fantastic, similar to like Transmog and things like that. As a collector, this is insane. I am going to be going all around the world trying to get as much of this as I can. It literally comes from everywhere. I've been putting up videos of different sources of decor, so if you've been checking those out, I really do appreciate it, and there is certainly going to be more to come in the future. So lots to do with housing in 2.7. Moving on into something different, and that is Shadowlands Timewalking. Yeah, unexpectedly, Shadowlands is getting Timewalking as of patch 11.2.7. So there are 6 dungeons in the Shadowlands Timewalking pool. You have Necrotic Wake, Spires of Ascension, Plagueful, The Other Side, Halls of Atonement, and Sanguine Depths. Now, we haven't had this tested on the PTR, unfortunately, but there has been some data mine rewards, including some new mounts. You have the Bone Cleaver's Skullbore mount, the Crimson Lupine mount, and the Snowpaw Glimmerfur Prowler. There are also various pets data mined and some brand new transmog coming to the Shadowlands vendors. But as mentioned, this has not been tested, so fortunately, I can't show you the vendor, but I'll likely do a video covering all of that in detail if it becomes testable on the PTR. But yeah, Shadowlands Timewalking in 2.7. Very, very unexpected. Also, Time Walking adjacent, Turbulent Timeways returns in 2.7. This is a 10-week event running from patch day on December 2nd until February 10th, 2026. This does bring a brand new Master of the Turbulent Timeways achievement, which is to gain Mastery of the Timeways for 5 weeks during the event. The reward for completing this achievement is Taradon's Mount Voucher. This is an item that actually starts a quest to speak to Overseer Taradon in Oribos, and basically handing in this quest will give you a choice of 4 mounts. These are bronze recolors of the Shadowlands Covenant mounts. You have the Bronze Aquilon, the Bronze Corpsefly, the Bronze Wildling, and the Bronze Gravewing, and this quest will reward one of those. As of right now, it is not known how you obtain the other 3 once you've completed that quest, but I would imagine it's probably just going to be a purchase for Time Walking badges. Seems like a likely scenario there, so you probably get 1 mount for free, and then you purchase the rest. But again, we will see more once the patch launches or it becomes testable on the PTR. Moving on into something very exciting, and that is Panda Heritage Armor. So yeah, Panda Heritage Armor is coming in patch 2.7 with a brand new questline that takes you back to the Wandering Isles. You can actually fly here as well, but only during that quest, which is kind of interesting, but it is kind of fun to fly here. Now, because Pandaren are neutral and are for the Alliance and Horde, there is actually 3 different variants of the armor. You have the blue version, which is for the Alliance, and the red version for the Horde, and completing the questline will give you both versions regardless of your faction. The armor itself is very cool. I know people were pretty against the kind of face covering there. Unfortunately, there is no non-face covering version of this armor, but I'm a fan of it. I actually do really like the Pandaren Heritage armor, and I will very likely be using it in patch 2.7. Now, there is also a neutral color, which is a black coloration of this armor, but as of right now, we do not know how that's obtained. It might have just been a bug where it wasn't given, or there is just kind of an extra step that you do when you're on the Wandering Isles during the quest, but we'll probably see more about that once the patch launches. This quest also does give you a brand new toy that spawns a hot air balloon that you can actually ride around on. Yeah, really cool. I actually love this toy so much. It's so different and unique, and that is available to everybody to use, which is fun. So yeah, you can spawn a hot air balloon wherever you like and fly around on it. Another thing that's going to keep you busy in patch 11.2.7 is the new War Within meta achievement. This achievement is called World Soul Searching, and the reward for this is the Gear Grinder Mark 11 mount. So this is actually a new ground mount which has a similar model to the first boss in the Liberation of Undermine. The unique thing about this mount is that when you mount up around critters, they explode. Yep, they literally explode right in front of you, and you can just keep mounting up and exploding critters. Kind of evil, but yeah, that's a feature of this mount, which is kind of fun. It's a nice little reference to the first boss of Undermine. The other reward for this is a decor item. This is the Drained Dark Heart of Galakrond. This is a version of the Dark Heart that you can place inside your player house, which is fun. Now, there are various different requirements for this achievement, of course. So first and foremost, you have to complete the 3 raids. So Nurabar Palace, Liberation of Undermine, and Manaforge Omega. The next achievement you need is All That Kaz. This is the Kaz Algar meta achievement, which has various achievements from there. You also have You Zalnot Pass, which is the 11.0 meta achievement. You also need to complete the War Within Pathfinder, the Glory of the Delver achievement from the War Within, so this is the Delve meta achievement. You also need Going Goblin mode, which is the Undermine meta achievement. Another requirement is Owner of a Radiant Heart. This is to reach Renown 10 with the Flames Radiance. And the final requirement is Unraveling and Preserving. This is the Koresh meta achievement. Now, a lot of you, including myself, will log in on 11.2.7 and have this already completed. You could do this right now. There's nothing new here. So yeah, if you have that, you are going to get that mount and that decor item on day 1 of patch 11.2.7. Also in the patch are some pretty major changes to Skyriding. So once the patch launches and you jump on your flying mount, there are going to be some pretty noticeable changes. The first thing you'll notice is that the Vigor bar is completely gone. The abilities Surge Forward and Skyward Ascent will now just share 6 charges, with their recharges being similar to Vigor, with it kind of recharging faster depending on your sort of velocity and things like that. The ability Whirling Surge will not cost anything anymore and will just be a straight 30-second cooldown. The ability Aerial Halt is going to be completely unchanged, and the bronze time lock teleportation will also be unchanged. However, it seems to be removed on alpha, so not really sure what's going on with that. Second wind will continue to exist with 3 charges, and clicking this ability will instantly generate a charge on surge forward and skyward ascent. And also as well, you are getting a new dismount button. So for the most part, it works pretty much exactly the same. I do actually prefer this, a lot less visual clutter as well with Skyriding, and genuinely it kind of feels a bit better to fly around without having to like lose vigor by using whirling surge and things like that. So yeah, definitely a welcome change to Skyriding coming in 11.2.7. Another exciting feature coming in 2.7 is the return of the Brawlers Guild. Yes, finally, for the first time since Battle for Azeroth, I think, the Brawlers Guild does return. So this actually starts 1 week later than the patch. This starts on December 9th in the NA region and December 10th in the EU. So from then, you can start grinding the Brawlers Guild. The Brawlers Guild will take place in the regular areas. For the Horde, it will be in the Brawlgar Arena, and for the Alliance, it will be in Bismo's Brawl Pub in the Deep Run Tram. Now, for the most part, this system has not changed really at all. It feels exactly the same as it has in previous seasons, which for the most part is pretty good. Essentially how this works is that you queue up for a fight and wait in a real life queue. You can actually watch the fights while you wait as well if you really want to, and once your position in the queue comes along, you kind of get thrusted into the battle arena and you can take on a boss. There are many returning bosses from previous seasons, but there are some new bosses in this new season as well, and there's a new affix system that you can add various affixes to the fight arena to get some new achievements, which is a new feature. There's also a challenge card system where you can purchase cards to fight specific bosses once you hit the max rank of the reputation, and there's an achievement to defeat all of those as well. Speaking of reputation, there is a new rep. This works exactly the same as previous seasons, so defeating a boss in the arena will grant 250 reputation, and there are 8 ranks in total with 1000 rep per rank. So yeah, it's not going to take too long to get to max rank. There are some new rewards and some returning rewards for the Brawlers Guild as well, which is great to see, and all of these are purchasable by gold. Yes, thank you, Blizzard. So returning rewards are the Clockham and Tyler Grondon pets, the Brawlers Guild Tabard for the Alliance and Horde. Purchasing one gives you the other. You have the Brawlers Razor Claws Heirloom is returning, and the Ensemble Brawlers Garb is also returning to the Brawlers Guild. But as mentioned, there are some new rewards. So of course you have some decor items for your house. So you have the Brawlers Barricade decor, the Brawlers Guild Punching Bag decor, and the Champion Brawlers Gloves decor. There are also 2 new mounts for the Brawlers Guild this season. You have the Brawlin Bruno mount and the Ballistic Bronco mount, which are available for gold at various different ranks of the Brawlers Guild. But for the most part, if you've done the Brawlers Guild before, this is going to work very similar to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I really enjoyed the Brawlers Guild. I had a ton of fun testing it on the PTR, and I'm very much looking forward to it launching on December 9th. The next change coming in the patch is going to ruin your muscle memory for a little bit. So the portal rooms are getting some changes in patch 11.2.7. So in Stormwind, the Ashran and Azuna portals are being moved to the back room of the portal room, with the Dornagal and Founders Point portals being added to the front room of the portal room. So yeah, basically the Founders Point being the neighborhood portal, and of course Dornagal kind of getting a bit more of a prominent spot because it is, you know, obviously the relevant patch. In the Ogrimmar portal rooms, the Burning Crusade Silvermoon portal, the Azuna and Zoldazar portal are all being moved downstairs, and being brought upstairs is the Dornagal portal and the Razorwind Shores portal, which is the neighborhood area for the Horde. Now once Midnight launches, they are doing some more changes, with the portal to Midnight Silvermoon being added to the empty spot in the upstairs area of the Ogrimmar portal room to the left of Valdrakken, and for the Alliance, it is replacing the Borealis portal, with Borealis being shifted to the back room of the portal room opposite Azuna. So yeah, just remember Dornagal is basically getting a bit more of a prominent spot, and of course this is going to be your way to get into the neighborhood areas for the Alliance and Horde. Finishing up with some more minor changes coming into 7, there are more currencies becoming account bound. So we have Apexis crystals from Warlords of Draenor, Veiled Argonite from Legion, and Order Hall resources from Legion are all becoming account bound in patch 11.2.7. This is to accommodate obviously just purchasing decor, because you will need these currencies to purchase it. So all 3 of those will become warbound. Another change is that they're updating releasing the cursor. So the hand cursor is getting an update to be just a bit more HD. There's also different gestures like grabbing, pointing, holding, and an open hand. And a lot of these are being used for player housing. To be honest, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but I really like it. There was obviously, you know, an outrage on social media about this. I don't understand why. I think it looks great. We're getting a new cursor in 2.7, and if you don't like it, I'm sure there'll be an add-on to change it back. Another minor change is that Horrific Visions are going to have the option to either queue for Ogrimmar or Stormwind. So yeah, this was previously on a weekly rotation, and as of the patch, you can choose which one you want to do if you want to go back and finish off those achievements. And finally, the best for last, there is an option to make Danath Trollbane stop saying the voice line every time you walk past in Dornogal if you haven't finished the quest line. I'm serious, that is an option that is becoming available in 2.7. You can make him stop saying the same thing every time. So yeah, a very, very good change in 11.2.7. But guys, that is it. That is patch 11.2.7, The Warning. It is coming out next month in December. It's going to be a great time. There's some really great features here. It's really nice minor features and just some overall a lot more than I was expecting from this patch. This is the final patch of The War Within as well. So let me know down below what you think of this patch. Let me know what you think of The War Within now that it's over, which is kind of crazy to say. And don't forget to leave a like on this video, guys, if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to support me outside of YouTube, I'm also on Patreon, and I'm on Twitter, Mr. GMYT, and I have a partner Discord channel as well. And also I am streaming on twitch.tv/MrGM. If you want to see me stream World of Warcraft, Midnight Alpha, 11.2.7, any sort of WoW, over on twitch.tv/MrGM. And with that, guys, I'll see you next time.